In their 118 years of history, NC State has never played in an Orange Bowl, has never finished in the top 10 of a major poll, and has one double-digit winning season in school history that occurred when Phillip Rivers was quarterback in 2002. But since taking over as head coach, Dave Doeren has turned NC State into a consistent winner that feels like they are always on the edge of breaking through and winning the ACC, yet just falling short in the end and finishing the year with 9 wins. Doeren has led NC State to 4 9-win seasons over the last decade, but has just missed out on 10 wins every time. Could this be the year NC State finally wins double-digit games and finishes in the top 10 of the final poll? This is the rise of NC State football, and why they are college football playoff dark horses. But before we get into this, if you enjoy college football content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, let me know who you think will make the college football playoff as a dark horse in the comment section below. North Carolina State has been one of the more consistent college football programs in the nation over the past decade under head coach Dave Doeren, but that was not always the case. Under Earl Edwards, the Wolfpack won 5 ACC conference titles from 1954 to 1970, yet Edwards still finished with a losing record at NC State, going 87, 88, and 8. Lou Holtz would take over as head coach in 1972, leading the Wolfpack to their 6th ACC title in 73 with a 9-3 record, but he would leave following the 1975 season to coach the New York Jets, finishing with a 33, 12, 3 record. Bo Rain replaced Holtz and led them to another ACC conference title in 1979, but left to take the LSU head coaching job after the season, or tragically passing away after his aircraft crashed on a recruiting trip. Rain was 34 years old. Following the departure of Rain, the Wolfpack would struggle under Monty Kiffin and Tom Reed before Dick Sheridan took over in 1986. Sheridan led the Wolfpack to 6 winning seasons in 7 years and went 2-4 in bowl games. He finished with a record of 52, 29, 3. While Mike O'Kane would recruit Phillip Rivers to NC State, he would not coach him, only being able to go 41-40 in 7 seasons, with his best season coming in 1994 when the Wolfpack went 9-3. Former NC State linebacker and former defensive coordinator Chuck Amato would replace O'Kane and found a lot of early success with quarterback Phillip Rivers. While Rivers was quarterback of the Wolfpack, NC State went 34-17 and went 3-1 in bowl games. Their best season in program history came in 2002 when they won the Gator Bowl and finished the year 11-3. After Rivers graduated, Amato's NC State teams finished 5-6 in 2004, 7-5 in 2005, and 3-9 in 2006. A lot of his success came under Rivers, and he would be fired in November of 2006 after a 7-game losing streak where they lost to Akron, ECU, and North Carolina. Tom O'Brien left Boston College to take the NC State head coaching job and famously said he planned to win championships at NC State and claimed it was impossible to do so at Boston College. While O'Brien would go 9-4 in 2010, he struggled his other 5 seasons as head coach as they sat around 500 ball most of his career. He also ran Russell Wilson out of town when he attempted to play baseball, replacing him with Mike Glennon. During the 2012 season, O'Brien was dismissed as head coach, although he had the team at a 7-5 record. Athletic director Debbie Yao was concerned over lagging season ticket sales as well as O'Brien's approach to recruiting, as his recruiting classes were frequently in the bottom half of the nation, and Yao wanted a coach who could bring top 25 type talent to Raleigh. The man chosen to replace O'Brien was Dave Doeren. Doeren played tight end at Drake and spent time coaching at the high school level, FCS level, and Division I level throughout his career. He made a name for himself at Wisconsin, serving as the Badgers defensive coordinator from 2006 to 2010. When Jerry Kill left NIU to coach at Minnesota, Doeren was named the man chosen to replace him. While Northern Illinois was known for their offense under Kill, Doeren turned around the defense in 2 years while also having amazing offenses led by Jordan Lynch in 2012. He led Northern Illinois to back-to-back MAC championships and a spot in the Orange Bowl, going 23-4 in 2 seasons. Although he was only with the Huskies for 2 seasons, some felt he was the best coach in school history. Doeren had his hands full with what he was going to take on at NC State to make them an ACC contender. O'Brien did not recruit well while serving as head coach, and the program had not won an ACC title since 1979, and they played in the same division as Clemson, Florida State, and Louisville. In his first season as head coach, NC State went 3-9 and lost every ACC game. It was a disaster but a rebuilding year. The program would take a major step forward in year 2, led by quarterback Jacoby Brissett, going 8-5 and 3-5 in ACC play. They only had 2 one-score games all season during the regular season, with the wins over Georgia Southern 24-23 and Syracuse 24-17. They finally snapped their losing streak to North Carolina, beating them 35-7 though. They beat UCF in the St. Petersburg Bowl and were the 3rd youngest team in the nation. They took a slight step back in 2015 and 2016, going 7-6 in both years before an impressive 2017 season. After a heartbreaking opening loss to South Carolina, NC State would go on a 6-game win streak with wins over number 12 Florida State and number 17 Louisville to set up a top 15 matchup against Notre Dame. They would lose to the Irish and number 6 Clemson before winning 3 of their last 4 games, including a decisive Sun Bowl win over Arizona State to finish the year 9-4. It was the program's second most wins in the season, but also a little bit of a disappointing one as some felt they missed an amazing opportunity. NC State sent 7 players to the NFL draft, including top 5 pick Bradley Chubb and the entire starting defensive line. Florida State had its worst team of the decade. Louisville's defense was awful, Miami wasn't fully weaponized, and hell, even Clemson was a step or 2 off its 2016 pace. Their Week 1 loss to South Carolina saw them outgain the Gamecocks by over 250 yards. They dropped a winnable game to Wake Forest and lost a heartbreaker to Clemson. In the previous 2 seasons, they had lost 7 one-score games. The draft narrative was, how the hell did they only go 9-4 with all that talent? And what are they going to do now that it's gone? Doeren had raised the talent standards to the next level, with his recruiting classes improving from an average ranking of 60.7 from 2011 to 2013 to 42 from 2014 to 2017. In 2018, they finished with the 26th ranked recruiting class in the nation as well. Heading into the 2018 season, hopes were high for NC State as they returned quarterback Ryan Finley and his top 5 wide receivers, but the ACC did not look as wide open as it did in 2017, with it being a blown opportunity. Clemson returned nearly everybody, and Florida State was expected to rebound fast. NC State would start the season off 5-0, being rated as high as number 16 in the polls, before getting destroyed by number 3 Clemson 41-7. They let that hangover stick around, blowing it against Syracuse, losing 51-41 and falling out of the top 25. They rebounded with a win over Florida State, but then let Wake Forest upset them once again. They finished the regular season on a 3-game win streak, including a win over North Carolina, but the season had multiple missed opportunities once again. Their bid to win double-digit games would be ended in the bowl game when they were destroyed by Texas A&M in the Gator Bowl 52-13. After the season, offense coordinator Eli Drinkwitz left to take the App State head coaching job. Ryan Finley, running back Reggie Gillespie, wide receiver Kelvin Harmon, Jacoby Myers, all-conference tackle Tyler Jones, All-American guard Teron Prescott, and first-round pick center Garrett Bradbury all needed to be replaced. NC State would struggle after starting the 2019 season 4-2, losing their 6 remaining games, including blowout losses to Wake Forest, Clemson, and North Carolina, to finish the year 4-8. They saw a rotating quarterback room between Devin Leary, Matt McKay, and Bailey Hockman. It was their first losing season since 2013. 2020 saw Bailey Hockman take the reins as the starting quarterback, and saw a breakout year by Ricky Person Jr. as they finished the year 8-4. They finished 4th in the ACC and lost a Gator Bowl to Kentucky. During the 2021 season, NC State would have another impressive year led by quarterback Devin Leary and running backs Zavon Knight and Pearson Jr. After starting off the year 1-1 with a win over USF and a loss to Mississippi State, NC State would go on a 4-game win streak, which included a doubled overtime win over number 9 Clemson. It was NC State's first win in the Textile Bowl since 2011, snapping an 8-game win streak by the Tigers and their first win in over a decade. They'd be ranked as high as number 18 in the polls, or an upset loss to Miami in a heartbreaker 31-30. They would win their next 2 games before losing to number 13 Wake Forest in a heartbreaker 45-42. They would win their last 2 regular season games to finish the year 9-3, which had them finish behind Wake Forest in the ACC Atlantic, which was another blown opportunity. Just hours before kickoff, an outbreak of COVID caused UCLA to pull out of the Holiday Bowl, canceling the game. NC State tried to find replacements, including ECU, SMU, and Memphis, who all had bowl games canceled themselves, as well as San Jose State, who was 5-7, but they did so with no success. Once again, NC State just missed out on a 10-win season, which would have been their second ever double-digit winning season in school history. Heading into the 2022 season, NC State was ranked number 13 and rose as high as number 10 in the nation after starting the year 4-0, while losing to number 5 Clemson in the Textile Bowl. They rebounded, beating Florida State, but would lose to number 18 Syracuse on the road. They beat Virginia Tech 22-21 and Wake Forest, but lost 3 of their 4 remaining games, including their bowl game to Maryland to finish the year 8-5. When Wisconsin fired Paul Chryst, some wondered whether they might bring Dave Doeren back to Madison, with the Athletics' Bruce Feldman writing, "Dave Doeren also has Badger ties from his days as the defensive coordinator at Wisconsin from 2006 to 2010. He did well in the MAC at Northern Illinois and has done very well at NC State, as the Wolfpack are going strong. Would he leave there for Madison if pursued? Maybe, but we're not so positive of that." That was not the first time Doeren's name was thrown around for another head coaching job, as he was a rumored candidate for both Tennessee and Ole Miss in the past. Instead, the Wisconsin job went to Luke Fickell, and Doeren remained at NC State. Last year would be an interesting year for NC State, as they replaced Devin Leary with Virginia transfer Brennan Armstrong after Leary transferred to Kentucky. MJ Morris also got playing time throughout the season as well. After losing to Louisville to start the season 3-2, Morris was named the starter, where he went 3-1 as the starter, throwing for 719 yards, 7 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, while completing 55.8% of his passes. After their 20-6 win over Miami, Morris chose to preserve his red shirt and step down as a starter. Morris had been the first true freshman to start a game for the Wolfpack since Phillip Rivers back in 2022. Morris had burned his red shirt in 2022 after playing 5 games before getting hurt, and was told by Doeren that he was only going to play in 2023 if Armstrong was hurt. Morris didn't want to waste 2 years of his eligibility only playing half a season, and had all the intention to stay at NC State. A week after the decision, Coach Doeren called Morris into his office, and the two decided they were going to go their separate ways, but there was no bad blood, according to Morris. Led by Armstrong, NC State would win their next 3 games to finish the regular season 9-3. They just needed 1 win for their second double-digit winning season in school history. Sadly, they would lose the Pop-Tart Bowl to Kansas State 28-19. Heading into the 2024 season, guys like Josh Pate and other TV personalities have made their case on why NC State is a college football playoff dark horse. Pate said on his show a few weeks back, "North Carolina State's a playoff contender here now. North Carolina State is 1 notch below the top ACC contenders with an 8.5 projected win total. This is a really sneaky good offense. It could end up being one of the best offenses in the conference, and it's a team that's known for defense. I think that may regress a little bit this year, but it will be made up from an aggregate because Grayson McCall transferred there. Kevin Concepcion is probably a wide receiver you don't know about, and you should know about, because if he played in Austin, he would be a star and he'd probably be on the cover of magazines this year. They've got a really strong offensive line, and they got a really good secondary. Grayson McCall, after throwing for 10,005 passing yards in 4 years at Coastal Carolina, would choose to transfer to put himself on a national stage this upcoming season. NC State has a relatively favorable schedule, avoiding Florida State, Miami, Louisville, Virginia Tech, and SMU, who all have preseason over-under win totals of 8.5 or better. They travel on the road to take on Tennessee and Clemson, but have the schedule to finally win 10 games. They go 10-2, they'll be in the conversation for the college football playoff. Their program has never finished a season ranked in the top 10 in program history. They have 1 double-digit winning season in their 118 years of history, and have not played for an ACC title since 1979. This year could be a historic year as NC State opens up the season on Thursday, October 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern on the ACC Network, ranked as the 24th team in the AP preseason poll. What do you think? Can NC State make it to the college football playoff? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of my other videos YouTube thinks you will love right here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.